Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick video about energy consumption. I've had a lot of people ask if it's worth having the Instant Pot on for so long, and rather than just, you know, putting it in a Ziploc at room temp or putting it on a vent that's on and off. That may not be as good, but maybe it doesn't cost you anything, right? So I decided that I would take data from another person that was on the first article that was published. She started to do the Instant Pot method after I told my my Ottawa group that how I did my personal seeds. She started using it and she really loved it, so she started using it a lot. And so she had a meter that she could plug in anything, and so she decided to check what the Instant Pot did. And so we're here in this little video, we're just gonna compare the Instant Pot, and then we're gonna also see a heat mat. And then just for fun, we're also gonna look at a yogurt maker. So technically, these three things do the same thing. You could have a yogurt maker and it would work. It just happens that they're not as popular as Instant Pots. And I don't have a yogurt maker. But I've heard some people on my group randomly say, oh, well, I'll try with my yogurt maker. Absolutely, if you have one. So she did 24 hours with the Instant Pot at yogurt setting, and she did 24 hours with a heat mat. She already has heat mats and she still prefers the Instant Pot. There's many reasons to that. For one, probably my one worst fear and why I don't have heat mats, fire hazards. So a lot of people with heat mats would be like a bit confused at why I'm saying that. But the thing is, a lot of people try to go for the most on sale product. It's something that you use once a year. Why would you want to pay $120 for your heat mat, right? So you're gonna go for the cheaper one, but they're not. For example, the Instant Pot is a very, very big company that's been on the market for a very long time, and it's a cooking appliance, while there are many, many companies that make heat mats. So a lot of them vary. Some of them are not even at the temperature they say. Some of them might increase or decrease temperature while you have it on. So you have to buy the heat mat and then check it out. The data on Instant Pot, it's a product that's been studied for a while, and it's very consistent according to what I've looked at. While some heat mats tend to go too hot. Another reason she prefers that, it takes less space. If you want to do 24 cells in tiny cells, but if you have a big garden and you want to do multiple, you're gonna have to buy multiple heat mats. So that's gonna cost you a lot more than an Instant Pot. But also the space is so much space, because you have to do these and then you have to transfer them to bigger pots. With the Instant Pot, I prefer doing the Instant Pot in Ziplocs. You can stack them up as much as you want. You could have like so many trays worth of seeds after in that one time Instant Pot. And so it's space saving, but also I put them directly into a bigger pot, knowing which seed was not a dud and worked. And so that's another reason. You don't have to buy trays, you don't have to buy multiple heat mats. And so I'm just gonna show you, there's not a big difference between them. Or I should say, there's a big difference between the data, but it's such a small amount that you're paying. But here, this video is really to reassure all of you that you're not paying like multiple dollars every single day on using your Instant Pot on yogurt setting. So after 24 hours, her Instant Pot recorded 0.15 kilowatt hour. That is tiny. That's per day. And so, for example, pepper seeds, from you putting them in, they might germinate after 24 hours. But I personally like when you're close to having the leaves out, or you have the leaves out. With that, that's about 5 days. Very general, okay? So let's say if we used 5 days that it takes for leaves to be out. Then you're running it at 0.75 kilowatt hour for the entire 5 days. And that for Ottawa, here are our energy costs. I took the average because it runs all day long and runs during low times, high times, medium times. So that's about 12 cents per kilowatt hour in Ottawa. And it's 0.75 kilowatt hour. So it gives me 9 cents. It is 9 cents for 5 days of running the Instant Pot at yogurt setting, 9 cents. So obviously I did, I probably did 5 weeks or 6 weeks now since the whole beginning of this whole Instant Pot thing this season. Last season I did not do anywhere near as much, maybe one week, just because I wasn't running experiments for showing people. I did not expect people to be that interested in the Instant Pot germination. But so this year was maybe 6 weeks, but you gotta think 9 cents for 5 days. These experiments did not cost me so much, not even $1. So so that's it for the Instant Pot. So it runs at 6.25 watt. When you look behind the machine, you see that the Instant Pot says it runs at 1000 watt. That is when you boil with it, when you fry with it. Big difference between yogurt setting and boiling frying. And that would have to be like frying for a long time or boiling for a long time. And so it's not 1000 watt that you use, it's about 6.25 watt. So that's with the Instant Pot. Now I don't have a yogurt maker, but online the average yogurt maker uses 9 watt. Because the yogurt maker only makes yogurt, you know that that's the amount of energy it'll make. It's not like the Instant Pot that has 50,000 settings. It has the yogurt maker setting, and it's 9 watt, which is slightly higher, but really just almost as good as the Instant Pot. The Instant Pot is just a bit more energy efficient. So 9 watt for the yogurt maker versus 6.25 watt for the Instant Pot yogurt setting. Now let's talk about heat mats. Obviously, the experiment was run on her heat mat. There's so many brands. I'm sure that the more you pay, the better energy efficient it'll be, and the safer probably for your house, and also for your plants. I mean, these heat mats could go slightly higher and, you know, dry out your seedlings by creating so much, because it's not closed like a little Ziploc or a little tiny container. So it's a dome, and so it can go too high so that all the water ends up on the top and you don't spray enough, and it go too high that it cooks your seeds. So anyway, so this data is about her heat mat, and she has a few, and she said after 24 hours it was 0.57 kilowatt hour. So for example, the Instant Pot was 0.50, the heat mat was 0.57, okay? So per day. Now I had to compare that for 7 days, because generally what comes out, for example, peppers that would come out in 5 days of their leaf in the Instant Pot would do the same, but in 7 days with the heat mat, because they're also very efficient. But they're not in air, they're in soil, so there is a bit more resistance there, I'm assuming. And so, for example, for 7 days, you would get the same results. It would be 50 cents. So 50 cents for one heat mat for the same peppers that are germinated, versus 9 cents for 5 days for the same peppers that germinated. So 50 cents, 9 cents. What I mean is very different, but also very non-costly. The thing is, a heat mat can only take, if you use cells, 24 cells. But if you use little cups, it can only take maybe 10 cups. And so now you're having to buy the cells to make sure that more fit on it. And also you might have to run it, buy more if you want to start more than 24 peppers or a bit less than that. And or run them in succession. So they're germinated, and then you have to do another if you don't want to buy more heat mats, which are also doable, especially for people that lives in the suburbs like me. Like I don't need more than 24 peppers, even though I definitely have more than 24 peppers here. But you know, and so yeah, the cost in the end, like yeah, it's 50 cents for 7 days. But then if I have 4 heat mats, or I run it more than 7 days because I run other seeds. But yeah, that's the difference. If you already have a heat mat, it's not costly, so go ahead. If you don't, I strongly suggest Instant Pot if you're if you're interested in using it all year long for other things than seed starting. But that's all for today, and at the end of the video I think I'm going to show you some pictures of last year's crop, and also maybe a video that I have on my phone of my my wall of cucumbers and squash. It's a bit much, definitely looks like a jungle, but yeah, some of these were started with the Instant Pot last year, so I just want to show you a few different pictures or videos. Thanks for watching.